For the third year in a row, iLEAD is organizing Future Vista, the New Age Careers, a conclave that will witness the presence of dignitaries from various sectors in the industry. The panels will discuss the changes and growth in the respective sectors, along with the emerging new age career opportunities.
For today's session, we have the future of traditional journalism.
We invite you to take this right step ahead, choose the right career for yourself, and be the future leader.
The session is actually about careers in journalism, but as we know that this is a traditional media session, but nothing is traditional right now. And some of the aspects that I often discuss with the students is that they have to be platform agnostic. For example, if they are specializing in print, they have to know what is new media, they have to know what is citizen journalism, they have to know what is mobile journalism, they have to have that capacity to edit visually and in terms of audio. So what will be the first thing that a student should keep in mind before we delve into the details of the career?
I think, Shubhro, the first thing which anybody has to actually pursue it in journalism is love, passion and emotion. If you are normal, then you can't be a journalist. This is the first theory which I feel, and that's how I have been. I really love what I do. If you love what you do, then anyway other things will follow. So right now you all are young minds. Please focus. Ki ma boleche, baba boleche, kichu ekta korte hobe. You are in the institute, then don't be. I mean, you should be in the institute, but then don't pursue further. You should first focus on what you want to do. That is the first thing. And then, tradition, I also believe that it is not tradition, but it is evolution with tradition, which we should follow. Like, I'm sure that you all know that, what are the things, please, don't go into this, but don't go into this WhatsApp university. You see things there, you analyze, you judge, and then you forward things.
But let me come to Ayushi. Ayushi, your field of expertise or your field of journalism is very different. It can be categorized as soft news. So can you just, a lot of our students, they are not acquainted with that, whirlpool of the political and the national. So most of us, we think that journalism is all about, soft news and going to parties and entertainment and film. So what was your experience, or how would you, orient the youngsters with the world that you belong to?
I would say when comparatively soft news and hard news, it's a little important to get a background on what these things are. Hard news is basically what you see mostly in print. It's news that has got to do with serious topics, something like elections, or something like something that affects lives, something that affects property, something that affects real estate. But soft news, on the other hand, is seen as the comparatively easier side of journalism. And it is something that youngsters nowadays are preferring to acquaint themselves with when they're first entering the field, and then after that maybe shifting to a more serious form of print. So soft news does entail a lot of events. It does entail a lot of exhibitions, a lot of parties, as you may call it. So it's something that is not as serious as something that you would see on a newspaper. However, I think one thing that a lot of journalists nowadays fail to realize is the importance of soft news and how it can actually fuel hard news. So maybe you get invited to do a restaurant review somewhere, okay? You are looking at the menu, you're going through the dishes, you're writing about how wonderful the kebabs are or how tasty the prawns can be. But one thing that a lot of people fail to realize is how inherently it is connected with what the person is doing. As in the person who owns the institution, or the person who is the owner of the entire group of restaurants that has invited you in, why they are putting out a specific menu in a specific time of the year in order to garner a specific type of audience into their restaurants is something that is actually, that comes with, first of all, experience, and it also comes with knowledge.
I'll come to Tirthankar. idea of language, because most of us from the elite colleges and schools, we aspire to become journalists, but we are getting detached from our mother tongue or the local language. So that becomes, and if you do that, you will be disconnected from the common people. So what about this language? মানে একদম বাংলায় আমি চলে আসতে চাই, ভাষার ব্যাপারটা তো এখন খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ হয়ে গেছে। তো ভাষাটা কিভাবে আমরা ছাত্ররা কিভাবে দেখব?
বাংলায় কাজ করলে তোমাকে বাংলাটা জানতে হবে। অনেকে বলে যে আমি বাংলা মানে বাঙালি হয়ে সে বলছে যে আমি ইংলিশে লিখবো বা ইংলিশে জানবো, কিন্তু সে যখন কোনো বাংলা ভাবো ইংলিশের স্কোপ নেই, সেই জায়গায় কোনো ন্যাশনাল মিডিয়াতে জায়গা নেই, সে বাংলার জন্য চেষ্টা করতে পারছে না, ট্রাই করতে পারছে না, কারণ সে জানে যে আমি বাংলা পারবো না। তো সেই কারণে বাংলাটা প্রথমত জানতে হবে। দ্বিতীয়ত এখনকার দিনে সব খুব খুব ভুল না করলে সব সমবয়সী হবে আমার। ম্যাক্সিমাম জিনিস মানুষ যেটা করে সেটা হচ্ছে ঘুম থেকে উঠে ফোনে রিলস দেখে, ভিডিওস দেখে। যদি সাংবাদিকতা করতে হয় বা কলেজ কোনো দিন প্লেসমেন্ট দিয়ে, কলেজ এমন ভেবো না যে কলেজে এসে পড়াশোনা করছি 3 বছর 4 বছর দিচ্ছি বলে কলেজ আমার একটা চাকরি দিয়ে দেবে, সেই চাকরি করে কোনো দিন সেটা হয় না। করতে হলে তোমাকে পড়াশোনা করতে হবে, ফোনে কন্টিনিউয়াস তোমাকে আপডেটেড থাকতে হবে। যে প্রচুর মানে ফ্রি যে জায়গা আছে, ANI যেমন আছে টুইটারে, সেই জিনিসটার মধ্যে আয়ত্ত আনতে হবে যে আমি খবর দেখবো, বাকি জিনিস যদি সাংবাদিকতা করতে হয়। যদি মনে হয় যে না ঠিক আছে সাংবাদিকতা করবো না, জাস্ট পড়তে হয় বলে পড়ছি, কলেজ ইন্টার্নশিপ দেবে করে দেবো, দ্যাটস ডিফারেন্ট।
Kamalika Di, now the first thing that I would straight away come to is, since he was talking about reading and writing, it's not only a journalism department that can create journalists. We can just open the doors and the windows. These are the views, these are the, you know, inverted pyramids and 5Ws and all these things. But when actually people go to the field, does it have anything to do with the kind of capability that you have in writing and critical thinking as well?
You know, jara tomra acho, all of you who wants to be a journalist, there is no digital, there is no print, there is no broadcast journalism division now. All we want, like, you know, when we take interviews, we recruit multimedia journalists.
The thing is, sometimes the kind of soft news that we try to cover, sometimes it doesn't get a lot of attention because everything everywhere now, it's political news and all these. So how do you face these challenges?
One is to just not care, okay? Because your assignment as a journalist, as a reporter, is to report on what you find and to report neutrally. You cannot be tainting it with YOLO journalism, or you cannot be putting in facts that excite people just because you want more readership and viewership. You obviously have to maintain that authenticity.
You were not one of the coolest students. খুব মাথা গরম ছেলে আমি জানি, but how do you handle this, and what were your experiences, these kinds of traumatic experience, if you have any?
আমি সব ভাবাটা খুব চাপ। তুমি যদি 10টা মব তোমার সামনে দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে, তুমি যদি তাদের সঙ্গে বেশি কিছু করতে যাও, তারা তোমাকে মারবে, সিম্পল অ্যাজ দ্যাট। ভেবে নিতে হবে যে আমাকে কাজটাকে করতে হবে, অফিসকে ধরতে হবে, নাহলে অফিস আমায় খিস্তি করবে খুব বাংলা ভাষায়। ঠিক আছে, অফিস খিস্তি করা মানে তুমি যদি একবার অফিস খিস্তি করো, তার মানে ঠিক আছে পরের দিন থেকে আমি ওকে ইনসিডেন্টটা পাঠাবো না, ধরতে পারছি না ইনসিডেন্টটা। সেই জায়গায় দাঁড়িয়ে থেকে তোমাকে এমনভাবে ব্যাপারটা দিতে হবে যে অফিসেরও মন থাকছে, তুমিও বেঁচে থাকছো। আর বর্তমানে দাঁড়িয়ে থেকে প্রত্যেকটা মিডিয়া অর্গানাইজেশন সামহাউ বায়াসড, যেটা কমলিকাদি বললো। সেই কারণে কিছু প্রচুর নামকরা সাংবাদিক আছে যারা ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট জার্নালিজমে শিফট করে গেছে। তুমি যদি বাকি নিউজ পোর্টাল বা নিউজ ওয়েবসাইটের সঙ্গে দ্য প্রিন্ট, স্ক্রল বা যারা ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্টলি কাজ করে তাদের স্টোরি পাশাপাশি ফেলো, ইউ উইল গেট টু সি দ্য ডিফারেন্স।